Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Lone Coat Mafia Podcast. It is I, the Reverend Godfather, the show's main host and frontman, and I just wanted to give you a quick little intro to what you'll be listening to in this episode, and that is me and Big Candy went to 4-State Comic-Con 2018 October edition. That's right, we managed to go there both days, something that we did not expect, especially day 2. But we went day 2. So what you're going to hear is our day 1 recap. You're going to hear us mention that we will not probably be there on day 2. But guess what? We did go there day 2, which was, as of this recording, Sunday, October 21st. That's right. October 21st. We didn't expect to be there today, but we did. And there's an odd story, weird story, wonderful story, and amazing story that we kind of can go into and kind of not. But we'll share a little bit of that experience after the interview that we have for you. It is too short to make its own episode, but we will share it with you this episode. So, I want you to stay tuned to after the day 1 and day 2 recap and review for that interview. I'll introduce it and I'll let you guys listen to that interview. So, I'm going to stop right now so you can hear that recap for both days. So, here it is. Hey everyone, we are live at 4-State Comic-Con Fall 2018.
Bitches!
That's right. Big Candy is here. We're doing a live episode. Believe it or not, we are back doing it old school in a way. Just two guys with one mic. No double entendre there. So if you guys want, or gals, or whoever's listening wants to make a double entendre out there, please email us at lonecoatmafia@gmail.com and give us your best double entendre in regards to that, what you think it might mean. And like I said, we are recording this live at the fall October 4-State Comic-Con show, and it's been, you have been kind of seeing everything today.
Yeah, right now I see Wonder Woman drinking an action figure Coke. I don't know.
And somebody in a furry outfit.
Somebody in a furry outfit.
Drinking.
Trying to drink through a straw.
Right. And for the most part, it seemed quiet for some strange reason today.
It did seem quiet.
Compared to other stuff.
I mean, it got off to a big start. There was a line out front, and everybody got in. Everybody running around, and all of a sudden just...
Right. Yeah. We had a good panel today. Being the first panel, it was kind of sparse for a little while, then it picked up and kind of died down.
Yeah. Did get to talk to good people today, though.
Yeah, we have at least... We were hoping to get 2 interviews today, but we didn't really get the second interview. He had a meeting to go to tonight. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, neither of us can be here at the event tomorrow.
We just don't want to be here. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
He said no.
No.
Damage control.
Damage control. But today ironically, we were in a better position than we were for this show the last time we were set up.
Yeah, we're near the bar this time.
And
not too much action at the bar. Wolverine came over there to get a drink, and that motherfucker got a Coke. I was like, what are you doing? You need a slice of pizza? What are you, a Ninja Turtle? I was like,
come on,
you need a cigar and a beer, man. Stay in character, like that Terminator kid. Stay in character the entire day. Never break character. That kid was amazing. Not once did I see him break character. He patrolled these aisles like he was from the future. He was robotic inside. He was amazing.
Like I said, we had a wonderful panel. Must thank both Jordan from Not So Super Dudes and Josh from Villains and Victims for being on the panel as my co-panelists.
Beautiful gentlemen.
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean?
No, they're good guys. Oh, he did have nice hair. I did want to run my hands through it, ever so gently.
Ever since you trimmed your beard.
Like a spring breeze. What?
Ever since you trimmed your beard.
It's true.
You changed.
I know.
You changed,
I know.
mister.
I trimmed it again last night.
You had a nice full endorphin beard.
I know, I did.
Going the way, making Triple H look
But
less
I
dwarfish.
didn't want to go working at my current job looking like a friggin' like killer woodsman or something, and so I trimmed it down.
So we did record not only just our panel, there was a cosplay panel we recorded today. So in essence, we did get including this, we did get our
full con
experience. So in essence, even though me personally, as kind of the host of the show, main host and frontman, even though I feel a little way of gypping all of you, you all are not really losing out. It's the same number of episodes I'd be giving you anyway.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I'm going with the worst case scenario that I won't be here tomorrow. But
should you be?
Should we be? We'll probably be recording at least one other panel, and probably one or two other interviews.
A Mindy Sterling interview that was promised to us.
Yeah.
Should we be here?
Should we be here? But what a day.
We're talking about the future and the past again.
Future and the past.
Marty!
Damn you, Marty! Had a weird drunken guy with strange hair and a Morty come by. God damn it. Stole our damn DeLorean.
Morty and Marty. There's an idea for a book.
We had a wonderful interview today with Miss Monique Dupree. That was our interview that we scored today. That was a major plus. And it's a nice, decent length interview. I'm not going to jinx anything by saying it's going to be a short episode once it drops, because all of you at home listening know when I say that, it tends to be a 3-hour broadcast by myself. It's going to be a short episode today. 3 hours later.
3 hours later.
And 15 other rants and raves.
I just lost concentration. Anyway,
too young.
Whatever.
But
I can't tell.
Just that right now, I could go into a reference to why we're not going to be here tomorrow in this particular broadcast, but
because we're broke.
We're broke. That's one of the main reasons. One of us needs money to.
Let's not beat it around the bush, sir.
One of us needs money to get to work. The other one needs food.
Money to live.
So and all of you are wondering why we have a GoFundMe account for new equipment.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
you made $1 today.
Yeah, we made it. We did have a fundraiser today. We made a
buck.
Big whole $1 for the show. So again, for those that are out there counting, we have raised officially
$1.
$1 for the show. $1, and that was from. Let me bring up.
People I don't know.
People I don't. I want to say I don't know.
I'm disappointed. Jordan. No, I'm talking to the audience. People that I don't know. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, it took Jordan from those not so super dudes to donate $1 to help out the show, but no one else has. And our GoFundMe at GoFundMe.com/help the Longcoat Mafia podcast is still not going anywhere.
No,
but it's still open for your donations.
But you know, if we were a homeless guy that bought a lady gas,
or a sick puppy,
we'd
have $150,000 in our.
Right. So maybe we should be sick puppies.
And you wonder why I want to go to DC with a bucket with Indy's picture on it.
That's true. Hey, it's official. We're 2 sick puppies, ladies and gentlemen. We
identify as 2 sick puppies right now. Please go to
sick puppies.
2 homeless sick puppies.
Oh, with 1 leg,
with 1 eye, 1 ear.
Yep.
3 legs.
3 legs.
And a half a tail. With mage.
With mage. We're bad off, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we can do to podcast to you.
So
please help out.
Please help out. I did pick up today at the show. I usually buy something at the show. It's the hard copy of Skeleton Key Part 3.
From
Skeleton Key 3 Part 2
Right.
from Monique Dupree.
That's right.
And which means I'll probably be watching it 3 times tonight. Fuck you, John Johnson. I say that with all love and everything else, and not that way.
Whatever.
I say it's all in a friendly way because
He makes them so damn interesting. You got to watch them 3 times.
Yeah.
Once just to watch it. The second just to do the commentary, and then the third time
to pick up everything that was said in the freaking commentary.
Yeah.
You bastard!
and maybe a 4th time if your neighbors happen to have a meth lab,
Right.
and you think they're going to call the cops.
Right. That would have been something to explain to the officer.
Well,
It wasn't No, I wasn't killing anybody. That's a movie by John Johnson. I swear to you, officer.
You know what the cop would have said? Fuck you, John Johnson.
Oh no, she absolutely despises
There was a lot of interesting cast of characters today. I think I forgot what she's called online.
Who?
She was one of the professional cosplayers, but she was here kind of not as cosplay. She was the chick with the pink hair.
Oh, yeah.
So she seemed shorter without her
She did.
cosplay boots on.
She did.
But I think I recognize her because of the face.
Right.
But like I said, all in all, today was relatively quiet.
Yeah. Still a good day.
Yeah, still a good day. We did try. Like I said, we had 2 panels. Hopefully, is he back in his booth? I don't know. Kind of hard to tell from this.
Jesse?
Jesse. But
I can't tell. There's somebody sitting over
someone's
there,
sitting there.
but it's not him.
No. Oh, you can tell it's Jesse if he was sitting there.
Somebody's sitting on this side. I can't see who it is, though. There's like a thing in the way.
Probably is Jesse.
No, it's
But-
a girl. There's
it's
a
a
girl.
girl?
No, there's a girl.
But the person we're talking about is Captain Mongo.
Mango. Or Captain Decapitate of indie
All right.
wrestling fame.
So, and you can always tell who he is. You've seen him probably many times. You've probably heard us talk about him.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Great guy, interesting guy to talk to. Hopefully one of these days we'll eventually get an interview with him.
Oh, you should.
So,
It's good people.
yes, he is. And who is it here? Kent, you got a photo sketch by
Oh, by Ken Hunt?
Ken Hunt.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So, I really like Ken Hunt's work. He's a really good guy. He's nice to talk to. He's a Baltimore native, so he got good Baltimore sports stories because I'm a sports fan. So I was over there admiring his expensive. Well, actually, it's not that expensive. I shouldn't say that. His originals. I think the highest one was like $500, and it's because it's so damn good, so damn detailed. Is that Legend one? What's the name of it? What is Tim Curry's name in the Legend? What is it? I always want to say the devil. But what is the name of it? It's got a name.
I don't know.
The people are out there screaming right now.
Yeah, if you know what it is, please email us at longcoatmafia@gmail.com or through our social media.
Anyway.
But anywho.
He did a picture of him like with the unicorn horn like floating or whatever. And it's bad as shit, dude. It's so badass. He's got prints of everything he's done, including the Elvira, which was off limits the last time, and the Spider-Man. The only ones that are off limits right now is the what's that damn? What's the witch movie that Kate made a comeback?
Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, Hocus Pocus. It's Hocus Pocus with with Harley Quinn.
Oh.
And then there's another one. What was the other one? Oh, it's the one with all the monster characters. It's got like Chucky and Freddy and Elvira and all on the same. That one's not for sale here, but I think he has a print of it, but I'm not sure. But so I was over there checking out all that stuff, and he was on break. He came back. We got to talking about a bunch of stuff, and he was like, basically, he was complaining when he came back. He was like, man, if I do another Batman picture, he's like, he was getting tired of like doing superheroes and Batman and stuff, and I was like, aha, because like I like to have him do punk rockers for me. That's like a thing I like to do. So I had him do a little punk rock chick, and he did an awesome job on it. Like, it's badass. It's definitely going up whenever I get a house. It's like going up in the house. It's really cool. And then he told a story about Johnny Unitas working for his dad. Or no, was it for his dad or for his grandfather? Anyway, at a steel plant. And it was because back in the day, the football players they didn't make money like they do now.
Right.
So in the off season, they actually had to get real jobs. And Johnny Unitas, the legend Baltimore quarterback, had a job in the off season working for, I want to say his dad or his grandfather. And I was just like, holy shit. And he said he introduced him the first time. When he came over, I think his grandfather's name was James, and he said, "Hey Jimmy, what you need?" He said, "His name's not Jimmy, it's James." So he knew the guy. He only knew Johnny Unitas by the guy that got his grandfather's name wrong. But then later he ends up meeting him at a football game, and then he figured out, oh, he's the quarterback of the Baltimore Colts. Holy shit.
And you're talking about in regards to the whole punk aspect reminds me of that Mary Jane sketch I got a couple of years ago at Wizard World.
Yeah.
And pretty much...
Are you looking to talk to him?
No costume today. Nah, not today. But pretty much when I asked him to do it, it was, again, for the Hero Initiative, so the money went to a good cause.
Oh, okay.
And he pretty much said, what, you couldn't... Because I said, I want you to do something different. Mary Jane. He's like... He just looked at me like, what? You had to give me Mary Jane. You had to give me Mary Jane. It's like, if it was Spider-Man, I could do him swinging around on the web. If it was Batman, I could do him, doing something. Or Superman. You had to give me Mary Jane. Someone with no powers. What am I going to do? But he was happy to do it, because it's a change of pace.
That's what he was thankful, because he actually did a change of pace with me. He got to do something besides another superhero, and he really had a good time doing it. We talked the whole time about what that looked like, or what that was going to look like, or what that was supposed to look like. All right, he's getting up and leaving, folks.
No.
End of the show. Show's over.
I gotta pause it. Battery's low. Battery's going quick.
It will go. You better get it.
Well, folks, what we're going to have to do, because the battery on this borrowed laptop, not that I'm complaining, because
yes,
I'm not. No, I'm not. Listen here, you and your very perverted camera stand posing.
Well, that's not. It was worse before. That's just like a weird creature thing.
We got to pretty much cut this little bit of a section short. But for now, what we'll do is later on, before I drop this on Monday, I will probably add a little bit of a review for the Black Ops 4 that I've been fiddling with for the past 2 weeks.
It's not the only thing you've been fiddling with.
Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking fuck. So, after this break, I'll be back with more content. And to jinx things, it'll be a short episode.
It will not be a short episode.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
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 I'm stopping it now because of the battery.
Okay.
Hey, folks, believe it or not, we are back for day 2 of 4-State Comic-Con in Hagerstown.
We said we weren't going to do it.
Yeah, we weren't. Yeah. If
lied.
the recording survived yesterday, we kind of said we didn't think we'll be back for day 2. Turns out we came back for day 2 because there were a few things that were kind of leaning towards our way. So it was one of those instances that it was like, all right, we're going to come back. And there were a few things that happened I didn't expect, but we're walking away from day 2. Day 2 was definitely a little bit busier than yesterday.
It
in a way.
It died off quicker, but it was actually a lot better of a start.
It also seemed to have a longer burn to it, if you want to.
Yeah. There's a lot of kids here today because they were doing a family day.
You're right.
So that was cool too. You see a lot more little ones.
And
there's a little sleepy Iron Man that was going.
And a lot of interesting sites. We initially were going to walk away from the folks home. We were initially going to walk away from the show with one interview and 2 panels, but by the grace of the powers that be, namely Matt Burns, special thanks to him, we have 2 more panels for all of you and 2 more interviews. So look forward to that, and it's going to be none of which are boring. We have a lot of independent and local people, in essence, within local for us. I want to say within about 100 miles of Martinsburg, roughly.
Yeah.
Because we got. Let me just put the names out there. We have in the pike for all of you. We have an interview with Monique Dupree, who is a wrestler, actress, model, singer. She's doing it alone. Expect that interview. We have an interview with Captain Mongo himself, who is an actor and a up-and-coming wrestler as well. That was a very great interview and great conversation. Plus, we have an interview with artist Ken Hunt, who's done a lot of work in Marvel and DC and during the independent circuit as well. So that should prove an interesting show. The 4 panels that we did were Podcast 101 or Podcasting 101. Picked up a cosplaying panel. Link will be in the description when that episode gets posted up. The panels that we picked up today on Sunday was in essence a Pokemon Go type of tips and tricks type of thing. I might have to edit that for time and volume.
Right.
And also a kind of a YouTube. Let me put it like this, folks. It was supposed to be a panel. The phone does that. It's still recording.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be like a YouTube 101, like tips and tricks and behind the scenes. But because no one was really showing up for it, because I guess that's when the show was kind of starting to die down. I asked the gentleman if we could do a interview quasi panel.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, for the folks at home, go back, I'm going to make the reference, go back into our archives 3 years ago for the, what was her name? No. My first panel.
Oh, your first.
Both of us are drawing a blank.
Michelle.
No. Rochelle Dale Davis. Basically, it took us a moment, folks, because it was like that. Meaning, it was almost an interview base. It was asking about behind the scenes in reference to what goes into making a YouTube channel, what he does, and it was kind of what the panel was supposed to be about, as well as an interview as well. So it was like a compare and contrast between a podcast and a YouTube channel, what goes into it. So it was like bookends in a way. So that should prove interesting as well. So loads of stories, so please stay tuned for over the next couple of weeks and months, because it's a lot to put out. And folks at home, please stay tuned after this, because we do have a little bit of a short interview that will be tacked on to this that we recorded today as well. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy that interview, and stay tuned to our show. Well, I hope you enjoyed our recap. We do, as I said, and as I promised, I do have an interview for you. It's about 9 minutes or so long, maybe 9 minutes and change, and it is with Eddie Deezen. He pronounces his name. He helps me pronounce it in the interview. You might not know who he is, but you might know what he's done. He kind of, back in the early 80s, early to mid 80s, and better part of the 80s, including the early 90s a little bit, he always played the stereotypical nerd character. And he was in Grease, Polar Express, Dexter's Laboratory, just to name a few. So here's the interview, and I'm going to give you that little story after the interview. So please stick around. I'm here right now. Welcome everybody. I'm Reverend Godfather from the One Coat Mafia podcast. I'm here with Eddie. How do you pronounce your last name?
Deezen.
Deezen.
Yes, sir.
A lot of you might not recognize the name, but a lot of my generation and some of the younger generation might recognize the voice. that you hear right now, because he has in recent years done a lot of voice acting, but in the past you've always been playing, not to knock you, the kind of the original nerdy character.
Absolutely.
Have you felt that you've been pigeonholed in that, or has that become kind of your brand?
Probably so. I'm probably a little pigeonholed, but I don't mind. That's pretty much what I do. It's my shtick, so I don't mind. Yeah.
So how was the transition from being an physical actor in movies to voiceover work from like Dexter's Lab and other animation series that you've done?
Well, I like voiceover. It's easier. I always had a hard time memorizing lines. So with voiceovers, you get to just read off a paper. So I like that. It makes it real simple, and I like doing it that way. Much easier than movies, yeah. Although movies are more fun, but it's easier.
So, despite playing, having that resurgence of that nerdy character nowadays with Big Bang, have you seen kind of an increase in some of your older work, like War Games? I know it's not really available in mass market yet, like Midnight Madness,
yeah.
And others. So, or has Grease been kind of the biggest one?
Grease is still the most well-known. I think Polar Express is pretty popular now because everybody watches that at Christmas. But yeah, there's been a little research. I didn't necessarily see that, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So, how'd you get started in acting overall?
I was always a class clown in school, and then I came to LA. I did the Comedy Store. I worked at Comedy Store, did stand-up. I didn't like doing stand-up. But then I did that I did the old Gong Show, if you remember that.
I remember the Gong Show.
I did the Gong Show. I did my act. I got gonged by Paul Williams. Yeah, but that was like my first TV appearance. And then I got Grease the next year. I lucked out. Grease was my first movie.
So in essence, I wouldn't say you lucked out. You lucked into something.
Right.
So being, again, I hate to reiterate on the nerdy aspect of your career. Has that... I know I'm repeating. I do apologize for that.
That's okay.
But your most well-known work is obviously Grease and plus many other bit parts. Which one has been your favorite over the years?
Grease was very special because it was my first film. The cast was so nice, and Grease was so memorable, and it's such a great, legendary film, so that was special. And Polar Express was special because Tom Hanks is my favorite movie star, and he was such a nice guy, such a cool guy. So those two would be my favorites on bookends, like. Yeah. Morning, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So,
give everyone some sugar. Thank you.
The process.
That thank you was me getting a peppermint stick.
Have you been doing anything recently, or?
Not a lot. No, I've been in Maryland. I had some health problems 3 years ago, and I came to Maryland to be with my family, Cumberland. But I'm trying to get back to LA this year. I'm all better, so I want to get back to LA.
So, what kind of work would you like to be a part of?
Oh, I'd love to do another film, any kind of film, independent, low budget. I love doing movies. It's my favorite thing, so I'd love to do that. Any kind of voiceover work I enjoy, that kind of stuff, cartoons. Yeah.
So, are you a fan of the independent work that's been kind of quasi-growing?
Oh, sure. Good film's a good film, yeah. Any good movie I love. Yeah.
So, do you find that they're with a lot of the remakes that are out nowadays, do you find there's more originality with the independent market?
That's interesting. I could kind of see that. There's a lot of good original stuff. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
So, with again going to, how much of yourself do you normally put into your work?
Great question. I would say it's 75% me. I'm a geeky nerd myself. I'm a Beatles fan. I am this geeky. I am this bad with women. That's me. Yeah.
So
I'd say 75%. I make it a little more comical. I make it a little more spaz.
You tend to it's yourself personified a little bit.
I could see that. It's a good call. Yeah.
So, would you consider yourself more of a method actor or more of average actor?
Average or below average, me. I wouldn't say method actor, not in Marlon Brando's sense, not at all, but it's just an average actor, yeah. I don't usually use the method where I think back where my dad beat me, and that gets me sad for a scene. I don't think that, not in that method, yeah.
But nowadays, if you're starting to get back into the acting career, would you consider yourself now more of a character actor?
Yeah, I'd say I am a character actor.
Now, granted, we have IMDb to figure out, it's that guy. But
right.
Now, back in our days before IMDb, it's I've known that guy. I've seen that guy.
Right.
But now, do you still get? Wait a minute. I know you. I've
Sure. I get that all the time. That's me. Yeah. Very few know my name. That they go Eddie Deezen. I always had a cult following. That's always me. I was never a star, but people will go, "Oh, I've seen you. What have I seen you?" And, "Oh, you look familiar." I get that all the time.
But nowadays, with the aspect of Polar Express
Right.
and Dexter's Lab, when you speak, have there been more
Morning,
people?
Mindy. Hi, sweetheart.
More people that have said, "Wait a minute, I know that voice," or "I
I'll
known
get
that."
Yes, I will get that.
So, with the younger generation, are you having more people recognize you for your character in Dexter's Lab?
Yeah,
Or,
a lot here
So-
for Dexter. Yes.
so is it now? You said last night you had a screening, Grease screening. How'd that
Right.
go?
Oh, it was wonderful. Super nice people. It was in Altoona, and it was wonderful. We did it at the university. We had a great lasagna dinner. It was wonderful. Everybody was great.
Have you done many Grease screenings in the past?
Yeah,
Or?
they always do. Grease always brings people up. It always makes people happy. You get the gloomiest group. They watch Grease. Everybody gets happy. It's that kind of a movie. Yeah.
So, do you have any? I hate these type of questions, but I'm sad I got to do one. Do you have any favorite cult movies that you personally enjoy?
Oh, sure. Well, not necessarily cult, but I like A Hard Day's Night's my favorite film. The Beatles film is my favorite. I love The Hustler with Paul Newman. I love Tombstone's my favorite Western with Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer. I love it. I love Matchstick Men with Nicolas Cage. Those are my favorite movies.
You said what interesting fact or interesting memorabilia? You say you're a Beatles geek. What?
Yes.
What interesting fact or interesting memorabilia did you manage to scrounge up or find?
Oh, over the years, I've had some. I met the Beatles. I met all except John. I touched Paul once. He was on the Tonight Show, and his car was there. His window was down, and I ran up and I touched him on the arm. So I touched the Beatle. I saw George. I was playing Santa Claus once in Beverly Hills, and I saw George Harrison in the shopping center, and I followed him down the corridor. In my Santa Claus suit, I followed him, and I seen Ringo in concert, but I never met John.
It's a sad loss, though.
Yes,
It
yeah.
happens
He was my
to
hero. Yeah.
So, well, obviously you don't. I would normally ask if you have any upcoming projects, but do you have any upcoming events that you'll be at?
Not necessarily, no. I'm just playing it by ear. I'm here at the First State Comic Con now. It's a great show. I'm doing that now, and then after that, I'm freelance or whatever the future brings. Yeah.
That being said, have you been to many other cons before?
Oh yeah, I've been doing these since 1990 or 1991. I've been Comic Con signing shows. I love doing them. They're always fun.
Have you had let me just say, welcome to Forest State. I'm sure you've said that a lot yesterday. What's your favorite con experience being on this side of the table?
Just meeting the nice people. The nicest people ever at these shows. Never mean people. Always great. So I love meeting them all. That's the joy of it. And they'll tell you, Grease is the first movie I ever saw. We got married because of Grease, or Grease is my favorite film. Grease changed my life, or Polar Express. We watch it every Christmas. Makes you feel happy,
Going back to Grease a little bit, I'm sorry for the ADD in reference to the movies.
Totally okay.
What do you think of the fan theory in regards to Grease, or have you heard that fan theory?
Yes, I heard it. It's not true. We did the Chiller Theater. We did it in May. The director denied it. He said it's totally a bogus theory.
But do you think that at least the theory is a fun aspect, or fan theories in regards to from Dexter's Lab to Grease to whatever movie, including Polar Express, is a fun thing for fans?
I guess. That one I don't like, where Olivia's dead. That one I don't necessarily like. But if there's other ones that are nicer, I like that, yeah.
Okay. Well, we got about 7 minutes, so I think that's about it. I do thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
If you do have a fan page, I will link everything to your fan page. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Take
Pleasure,
care.
and have a good day.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that interview. It wasn't our best interview that we did this weekend. We did better, I assure you. We do have better content coming from Forest State Comic-Con, so please stay tuned. The story that I want to share with you is that there was a deal that went down, a great deal. I don't know how much I can tell about that deal other than the fact that if I didn't see part of it go down, I would not have believed it myself. And that involves, that's part of the amazing wonder aspect of the show that happened, and it stems from Eric Robertson. Yes, it seems like I'm putting him on blast a little bit, but he came out and was part of something that was going down, and that was brokered inside the show with a few people in a very positive way. And the person that he was speaking to kind of introduced me and Big Candy, and at that point we were kind of stemming that we're not going to really come back on Sunday. We were like, yeah, we got plans and this and that. And he comes out also. I mean, Eric, let me put it like this. Please do not get me wrong. Eric came off, and he is, from what I was told, and he came off to us a very wonderful, polite person and a very energetic personality. And he came off like a nice guy. And we were introduced to him as podcasters, and he was like, yeah, you guys got to, see me tomorrow for an interview. We'll do an interview tomorrow. Come on by. Please do so. He gave us fist bumps. Me and Big Candy fist bumps. He big grin and everything else. And so we kind of worked out a deal in reference to, he made sure that he would be able to be up here because of some, I don't want to put Big Candy on blast. I do thank him so much for getting me to the show both days. And let me just say that as well. But he made sure he would be able to come up on Sunday, and he was, thankfully, just so we could get that extra interview and, tie up a few loose ends that we were now able to do, and that I didn't mind having because of certain circumstances that I'm not going to go into here. And we were kind of excited to have an Eric Roberts interview. Very excited. I was looking forward to it and having maybe a 15-20 minute conversation with Mr. Roberts. And by the time the show, he came to the aspect of being less busy, I approached him for that interview, and one of the things he said was, you have to speak to, in essence, his handler, or the person that was working with him today, Sunday. And she said, yeah, he'll be more than happy to give you that interview for $10. Now, I'm familiar with some folks doing this with other podcasters in the past, that they'll do it if you buy a photograph. But he said $10. I went, okay, I don't have that funds with me right now, because for the most part, I was not expecting to come back on Sunday. And the money that I would have had to allow myself this opportunity was, in essence, spent on Saturday, and the only thing I had left with me today on Sunday was money for grocery shopping for the week. And the thing was, I politely backed out of it and said I can't. And later on, making my rounds, and because there was one other person I wanted to speak to and interview because of everything that was going down and happening, he wanted to talk about it. And I wanted to get back with him to schedule everything for that day. Things didn't work out because something, as things do, happened. And I was passing by Mr. Roberts, and he kind of put me on blast by stating to, I think, one of the people that worked for Four State, he put me on blast saying that he wanted to speak with me in regards to the interview, but I didn't have the $10 to pay for that interview. And I politely tried to not really tell him with an attitude that I worked under 19 hours and the only funds I had left was for grocery shopping for the week. And he, even though he gave me the biggest smile and fist bumped me, he kind of, with that same smile and a little bit of charm, put it back on me by saying, I don't want to hear excuses. So I could put right now on this show Mr. Roberts on more of a blast. But I am not going to do that right now. I cannot. I can, but I won't. Because it will open up other details and possibly ruin other things in the future. So I won't do that. But please, let me just say this. For those of you out there that know celebrities, there again, for those of you out there listening, I run this show under the poverty line. That's right. I run this show under the poverty line. I'm segueing into the aspect of, as of right now, the computer that I'm working with is borrowed, thanks to Big Candy. Borrowed. Because my show computer, thanks to a Windows update, has been bricked. And because of me being under that poverty line, as much as I don't like to beg for money, and I'm not, if you would like to support the show to help us get new equipment, better cameras, such as a GoPro, and better other cameras so we could record in stereo digitally other than having a GoPro or a DSLR camera, you could just go to GoFundMe.com/Help the Long Coat Mafia Podcast and donate what you can if you're able to. I'll say it like that because I do understand that not everybody has funds to donate willy-nilly. So, and also that being said, if you're new to the show, you can always find us on Facebook by going facebook.com/The Long Coat Mafia Podcast. And you could also, if you want to join in the conversation, you could, while there, and clicking that like button or tapping that like button, you could send us a message to join in the conversation. But if Facebook is not your thing, you could always join in the conversation by sending us an email, by sending it to longcoatmafia@gmail.com. You could also engage with us on both Twitter and Instagram by searching up Long Coat Mafia and clicking that follow button. We are on YouTube, so please stay tuned to YouTube because we have sometimes we put up exclusive YouTube content due to where we go. It'll be walkthroughs and everything else. Sometimes we put the same video on Facebook, but I usually tell people, please look up both, follow us on both YouTube and Facebook, because sometimes I put up exclusive videos on both, meaning Facebook might have an exclusive video, and so will YouTube. So please like and subscribe on both. What else? As for listening to the show, if you're on the go and you're switching from a Google device to a Apple device or an iOS device, you could always listen to us on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. But if you're switching from an iOS device to an Android device, you could always listen to us on Google Play Music. But on both, if you don't like to use either, or one or the other is having issues like they tend to have, you could also listen to us through Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and the Podbean app. Personally, I do recommend the Podbean app. But if you do prefer YouTube in a way, we do post our episodes to YouTube. It's audio only format. So there's that, if that's what you choose to do. Let's see, what else? If you strictly listen to us on the desktop, you can not only listen to us as always on Spotify and Stitcher Radio, we are available on iTunes. The iTunes desktop application, which is available on both Windows and Macintosh operating systems. But if iTunes tends to be finicky, you can also catch our show on our website, which is thelongcoatmafia.podbean.com. And while you're there, you can listen to all our episodes, stating all the way back to the beginning. And not only can you stream all our episodes on our website, you can download them and listen to them on your leisure, whenever you like, on your player of choice, whatever that might be, and in the order you might choose. So I do recommend that, and that seems to be about it. But I do recommend to subscribe to us on one of the many platforms we are on, because we have loads of content coming to you as stated in this show. So take care, and I'll see all of you, or speak to all of you, next week.
See you next time on the Long Coat Mafia.